Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Morning Coffee Talks. I feel like lately I've been kind of going in on the women. I gotta make sure that I don't give the sentiment that that's what my channel's about, right? My channel's called The Husband Code, and from the jump, from the pillars, it's always been about having man be accountable and responsible. And so I want to make sure I'm constantly always bringing it back to the purpose of it, right? And so this morning, I want to make sure I'm speaking to the men out there. And one of the things I constantly see is, men constantly chasing women when they should be on their purpose, right? And as they're chasing these women, it's keeping them broke. And it's not because a lot of men have bad luck. It's because you're broke because of your priorities, right? And chasing women is draining y'all wallets, it's draining y'all focus, and also your future. And you want financial freedom, but you're not out here. You want financial freedom, but you're out here financing dysfunction, right? And women are never the problem, man. Our obsession is, right? Buying her attention, impressing her with things that we really can't afford, spending time and money to feed our egos. That's not pursuit. Again, that's a distraction. And when your life is built around validation instead of value, your wallet is gonna be in survival mode out here, man. And it's almost like you're funding these dates when you should be funding your future, when you should be funding your own dreams. And I just think that when it comes to like just lust in general, right? If it's not in the right direction, it definitely can become a financial liability. When it comes to you buying new outfits, the dinners, weekend trips, constant dates, all this for women you don't even have a long-term vision for. But meanwhile, your investments, your savings, your skill development, all those go by the wayside, right? You don't have a vision for those. And it's definitely a correlation. It's like you're constantly trying to impress a woman, but you can't even invest in yourself to be able to impress yourself, right? And we all, at this point, we all should know that time is the most expensive currency, and a lot of us are losing it. I spoke about this in another video. You have to understand you're not just spending money, right? You're burning your hours chasing dead ends, man. And with that time, you could be, again, I beat this like a dead horse, man. You could be learning skills. You could be building a business. You could be improving your health. You can be actually creating real wealth. And a lot of us, we always have an excuse of, I don't have time to grow. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. But somehow we always have time to chase a woman. You know what I mean? And so that kind of brings me to one of the last talking points before I get out of here, is that real men build and then they choose, right? A man with focus and foundation is going to attract quality women naturally. I've been saying this. And for me, this is something that I understood early. I lost it and then I gained it back, right? And so I've been on both sides where you think you're doing it, but you're really not, right? And we just got to get out of the mentality of being a broke man. We have to be a rich man. And again, it doesn't always have to be financial, but it's definitely an abundance mind state. We have to stop acting like we up all the time, like we balling all the time, because the truth of the matter is, we actually losing. Not only financially but mentally, because we're constantly chasing and missing the kill. Yeah, you may, have sex and stuff like that with a lot of women, but that's not going to fill that void of quality. That's going to fill the void of quantity. And we know that a lot of quantity is like a cheap product that you buy, right? You constantly got to buy it over and over and over because it doesn't uphold the value, right? So I feel like, chasing women to feel like a man will keep you from ever becoming one. Let me say that again. I kind of messed it up. Chasing women to feel like a man will keep you from ever becoming one, right? You have to build first, and then you choose who gets access to you. And there's no other way around that. Because at that point, that's real leadership. That's you really being a man. So, our money a lot of times is tied to our mind state, right? Or our mindset. But a lot of us, we're not broke because we're incapable, right? I think that we're broke because we're distracted. We gotta lock in, we gotta build, and we have to let our purpose attract what chasing never could, man. So I just want to speak on that today. I just felt like that was on my heart to really get back and always make sure that I'm talking to the men out here to constantly, again, take accountability, take responsibility, and keep building. And don't, I guess you can say this is a reminder to not constantly be distracted out here on what's going on. We have to stay locked in. We have to stay on our purpose. And if you, even right now, I just know that I'm so full, man. And when I say that, like my cup is, I remember when my cup was, half empty. And once I switched my mind state, it became full again. Not half full, but full and overflowing. But that's only because I stopped playing games and got on my purpose. And when you're purpose driven and not passion driven, you'll see your life change, right? So listen, fellas, drop a comment below. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. And also, if you got any value from this video, hit that like button. And we're going to constantly keep dropping videos like this. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. But until next time, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.